The best stories on the Mountaineers wearing the jersey.
The WVU cross country team has a history of bringing in strong runners to make the program better under head coach Sean Cleary. But his newest group of girls is special. 4 young women, 1 sophomore and 3 freshmen, ran in the preliminaries for a spot in the World Championships. 3 of them qualified and finished in the top 50 in the World Championship race held in Poland. Sydney Scott and Maggie Drasba represented the United States. Jillian Forsey represented Canada. And Amy Cashin represented Australia. Here is their story.
I know for me it was a tough journey, like with injuries and so forth, and it kind of was like a dream of mine from a young age, from when I first started, and it kind of seemed unattainable. But then the month leading up, it was like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to go to the trials. I don't care how I do. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, it's a good experience. It will help me for senior years. And then in my race, I had a really good race, and yeah, I found out a week later that I'd made the team, and it was just an ecstatic feeling because I wasn't expecting it at all.
For me, the first time that I made the team, it was for the NACAC championship, and I went to nationals, which is where you qualify for that, and I was not expecting, like, that wasn't even in my mind when I went there, so it was such an excitement to make the team. So then when the next year, when it was a World Championships year, that was definitely the big goal that I was going after all season, so it was just so exciting when I got to make it and go to the Worlds.
When I went to Worlds, I wasn't exactly expecting to make it either. I had never really heard of it before, but once I found out more, I was really excited, and it was my goal to make it and be able to go to Worlds. I then just ran my hardest at the race, and it turns out I made it.
I made the NACAC team in 2012, I think it was, and I really wasn't expecting to make it. Just went into the race trying to run a really good race, and ended up qualifying. I was like super excited, especially like to get all the gear and run for Team USA. It was an awesome experience.
It was in Poland. It was snowing. I'd never seen snow before. So I know the Australian team, we stopped at London first so we could get used to some of the coldness, and then to Poland again. And so we dropped like 50 degrees in like 2 days. So it was pretty crazy.
I found the whole experience racing there. You go in, expect you're really intimidated, and you see all the other runners, and you think, oh my god, there's no way I could be as fast as all these other girls. And then once you're actually all in the race, you don't even think of it that everybody's just running together, and you kind of see that maybe you don't have the limitations that you put on yourself before you go into the race.
I know, we'd never had any sort of course like that before, for starters, because we don't have snow, so.
The course is also, it was on a downhill ski course.
On the other side of the hill, they had a ski lift coming up.
And then, basically straight down again. I saw several people who fell there, and that was a rough area, but they also purposely put, haystacks?
Yeah. And they put they put little bumps in to make it harder as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Definitely a unique course.
It was twisting and turning all the time, so you were always on your feet. I know I never actually, I was happy with my race, but I wish I know that I could have gone faster, for several reasons. I just never got into a rhythm because you're just turning, going up and down the whole time. And then I know personally I've never experienced the cold before. So when I crossed the line, I felt like I'd finally warmed up and was I'm ready to race. But it was a bit late. So I didn't want to go in with any expectations. I just wanted to finish the race because these are the girls that are the best for our ages around the whole world. You've never raced them before. Just to make it was an achievement in itself. So I know when I found out I was 50th, so I was top 50, I was oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think going in and being okay, I just got in the top 50 at the World Championships, and I know all of these different things that I'm thinking about already that I know I can improve. It just makes you think of oh my gosh, what can I do the next time I'm there, sort of thing.
For me, I really appreciated being able to meet all these other great runners, and really people who so many others look up to, and realizing that I have the possibility of being there one day.
I actually met Jillian.
Yeah.
There, we didn't know each other were coming to West Virginia at all, but I remember like after the race we talked and so forth, and it was just like I've made heaps of friends from it now that I still keep in contact from like London and all those sorts of places, which I thought was a really big highlight for me as well. One of the other girls, they're like, oh, we've got 4 girls who have represented their country at these big championships. 3 of you were in Poland. Like, they were basically just saying, what other university has that? And I don't think many would, and it's really great, I think.
Yeah, I don't think others would. I think it's going to be really exciting to see how we can build in the next couple of years and where we're going to be in a few years.
The best stories on the Mountaineers, wearing the jersey.